Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Valheim. In this video, folks, I'm going to show you how to tame boars. Yes, of course, you can tame boars in this game. And as with many other games, specifically Ark is what I'm referring to, we will need to build a trap. So before we do build a trap, we need to set down a workbench, and I'm just going to try and remember what that workbench is. So we'll put down a workbench, and of course this will allow us to build a trap in this area. Now I know there are boars not far, and so I am here to tame some. So we're going to start by crafting a wall, and we're going to go with a 3x3 wall. So we don't want to go tall, but we want to go 3x3. That is a square, and you'll see why I'm doing it this way. Because of course this trap we will kite the boar in, but we also want to be able to get out. Now the boar has a very interesting mechanic which I will show you later on. This is something that I noticed whilst playing around with this, and it doesn't matter if it's perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be a box where we can close it off so that we can basically have the boar be in a specific location until it is tamed. We don't want it wandering around randomly, just because we're going to have to drop food, and we kind of want to give it a predictable space to be in. With building in this game, if you put something down and you're not happy with it, you can demolish it. By doing that, you will get a full refund of what you spent on that piece. Now we want a roof and then some stairs going up to that roof, or actually when I say roof I mean a floor, because that's actually a floor. But we're going to snap it to the top part of the trap. I didn't like it there because it's quite close to the workbench, so I'm going to try and find another location. I think I'll use that wall. That's not what I meant to do. Let's do that again. We snapped it there. Now we want the floor. We're going to snap it over here. And then from here we want a ladder going down. This will allow us to access the trap from the outside. We will want to do that in case we want to drop some more food. So this is one of those traps which you can reuse. So basically we just come up here, we just drop some food in the taming pan, and then walk away and let the boar do its thing. But because we're going to kite the boar in, the question is, how do we get out? Well, it's quite simple. We're going to put down a half wall. Where is it? It's this right here. And we're going to snap it to this edge right here, and then we want another floor on top of that, so this will act as a ladder. The boar can't get to us once we're up here, so basically we're just gonna run, jump on it, jump on this roof right here, and that's pretty much it. We can also feed the boar from here. Now that's pretty much it. That is the trap. Let's go and aggro a boar, have it to follow us. Of course you can use the berries. I think there are many types of berries that you can use on the boar, but this is a beginner's guide, so these are the berries that we have. We're going to use the raspberries. So just going to run into the trap. Where's the boar? We did have a bit of a lag spike there. This is of course an early access game, so things like this will happen from time to time. You can let it hit you if you feel comfortable with that, or if not, you just basically run around until it follows you into the trap. So as you can see, it doesn't do that much damage to me. I'm not that bothered. However, I'm going to show you a little interesting thing with this mechanic. So I'm just going to run into the trap. I'm going to jump on this thing right here. Notice that the boar wants to run back out, but it still wants to kill me, so it'll come back in. So this is the mechanic that we are going to take advantage of. Of course, it will attack the trap, and it can do damage to the trap, as you have seen. So I'm going to quickly equip the hammer, and then we're going to select the wall, flip it around, voila. It's done. It's trapped inside the trap. I'm just going to quickly go into my inventory. We're going to drop some berries. That is what it likes. Now, whilst it is like this, whilst it's aggroed, it says it's scared, but it's actually attacking us, so I'm going to just say it's aggroed onto us. It will not eat, so we need to have it calm down, but it's fine. It will do that once we are far enough from it. So you can split stacks of the berries by pressing the shift key, and we're just going to drop one berry at a time in the trap. Of course I'm going to drop a couple of single berries and just let it do its thing. Now one thing to keep in mind is that the taming process will happen once you are out of sight. However, if you go too far away, the boar and the trap will despawn and basically just enter in a dormant state. Nothing will happen, so you want to be fairly close. It takes about a day and a night, so that is a 24-hour in-game cycle before the boar is tamed. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a perch next to the trap where we will just wait it out. The nice thing about this is we don't really need to worry about hunger and thirst, so we can just wait it out. So what's the perch going to look like? It's kind of up to you, but really it doesn't matter. We're just going to place down a floorboard. I want it at a fair distance so that the boar does not aggro onto me. So I'll place it somewhere around here. You don't necessarily need to place down the floor. You can actually skip to just the walls. But I want the floor as a point for the walls to snap onto. We're going to go 2 walls tall. So that will allow us to keep an eye on what's going inside the trap. Now notice that the boar is not attacking the trap anymore. So we are far enough where we have not despawned the boar and the trap. So things are still happening in there. But also close enough where the boar is not aggroed onto us. So that is basically where we want to set up. So we're going to put a roof here. This is just a basic idea, basic design. I'm going to place 2 ladders coming down, or staircases, whatever you want to call them. Try and snap them onto the floor right there, which I'm using as a ceiling, by the way. And that's going to confuse me sometimes, so I might end up calling them the wrong thing. And basically we just wait up here. This is going to take some time, so maybe get a couple of snacks, put a YouTube video on, whatever. It'll take some time. And after waiting a full day and night, so a full 24-hour cycle in game, eventually the boar will start taming. You know it's taming because you get the little green hearts, so we don't want to interrupt that process by getting too close. Now once you have tamed your wonderful new pet, you can then go up to it, you can pet it, you will get hearts. So you get the little pink hearts. You can pick up the berries that you place down if you're not going to tame anything else, or you can just leave them here if you plan on kiting another boar. Now, I'm going to show you one thing that's quite interesting about having a boar here in this game, and that is that it randomly just walks about. You cannot get it to follow you, so if you've tamed it far from your base, it's kind of difficult to get it to your base. Oh, we got deer there. But if I unequip my weapons and then basically just press the right click, which is kind of like the guard, I've actually got a dagger with me. So normally I'm just pressing the right click, which is basically block. I can actually push the boar. So I'm going to push it towards my base. There is another little interesting thing here that happens, which I have discovered. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I'll show it off anyways. So notice that I'm getting close to what my main base is. Now do bear in mind the base has a outer circle. The moment the boar touches the outer circle, it freaks out and just runs off. So basically I'm going to have to chase it about and try and bring it back close to the base. But, whoop, I mean, it's not angry or anything, but I don't understand why this mechanic is a thing. And I can't push it whilst it's in the state it's pushing me, just to kind of illustrate. However, when I do push it that way, notice that I'm not actually using any stamina, which is pretty cool as well. However, there is a way to cheese this. I'm not quite sure how the mechanic works. However, best way I figure it works is the moment the boar's hitbox makes contact with the radius of the workbench on that base, it just freaks out. It thinks it's something, I don't know, it just freaks out and starts running off. It will push past you. We'll do this again just as a test, so bear in mind and keep in mind where the boar freaks out, and then I'll show you the circle of the workbench, and then I'll show you how to cheese it after that. It's not pleasant, but you can cheese it. So we're just going to gently push it. It does take a long time. It takes a bit of patience. But we'll get them there eventually. Whoop, hold on a second. Let's do this. I do wish there was a follow mechanic here where you can get your pet to follow you. So we should be hitting the outer circle right about now. There we go. And it just ran off. Now if I go inside my base and open up access my hammer to open up the crafting menu, you will see where the circle is. So remember where the boar freaked out? Let's quickly pick up the hammer right here, and we'll just randomly place an object or so. right there. So just basically freaked out where the circle is. So let's build a trap, if you will, pen stroke trap type of thing. It's kind of like building a bit of a labyrinth. That's what I'm going to do. Now remember, you have to be inside the circle to build outside the circle. So this is what it looks like. It's basically just like a little maze type of deal. I'm going to try and push it in there. And the idea here is we just want one gap. The AI of the boar seems to want to go out the way we pushed it in. We don't want it to touch the outer circle, remember? So I left the two bits of fence right there that you see right there. Those are actually markers for me to know where the outer circle is. We don't want that to happen. So notice that the boar AI wants to use the same path that we brought it in. We don't want it to touch the outer circle. So what you want to do is you want to have your fence already pre-equipped. Run towards the inner circle, access the hammer, and then place down the wall. So we're going to do this. I've got the wall at the ready. Like so. And then we need to be inside the circle to be able to place it down. You have to be pretty quick with this though. There we go. I was a bit slow on the click, but you got the idea. That's kind of how you end up trapping the boar in your base if you've tamed it away from your base. It's a bit of a broken mechanic, or I'm taking advantage of a broken mechanic, but it works. It's fiddly, and I feel like it should not be like this. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, you can have multiple boars. The purpose of this, of course, is to have food within your settlement. You do have to feed them, but, I mean, they will say that they're hungry, but you don't have to feed them, so to speak. You can apparently also breed them, but again, unless you're doing this for role-playing purposes, I don't really see the use of having these. Now, if you're building a settlement and you want to have things like boars and stuff just to populate the settlement, you can do this for role-playing purposes. Other than that, the purpose of the boar is for you to kill and then harvest for food. I think it's far too much work for that, and I'd probably just go around the forest hunting wild boar because they're not really that difficult to take down. And I don't really think you get much more from the Tame Boars anyway, so really there isn't a perk as such to having the boars. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links, of course, you can find down below in the video's description. And until next time, stay safe, folks.